So I can't resist jumping onto the first part of your question, which wasn't entirely related to the second part, about whether or not it's been observed that minimum wage legislation has an impact on unemployment. My understanding is that CUPE's report, which gave impetus to this $14 an hour campaign, was based in large part on the Chad Kruger study from the United States, which first of all is from 1992. So it's not using the most modern data or methodology. It's also based in a country, the United States, which has a very different dynamic in terms of its labor market than Canada. So if you look at the studies on wage legislation and unemployment in Canada, you find that there is actually, in our country, a much, much stronger correlation between wage legislation and unemployment levels. So I think it's a bit disingenuous to be pointing and drawing from American studies to talk about developing public policy in an entirely different jurisdiction with a different dynamic. In terms of addressing affordable housing, the first thing that we wouldn't do as the Green Party is do something similar to minimum wage legislation, where we implement some form of rent control and dictate some sort of arbitrary price to how much people are going to be able to pay a month, because that has the same sort of distorting effects. What we prefer instead is a system of land value taxation instead of the current property tax system, whereby people are not allowed to speculate on the price of land, and they are forced to pay a tax level consistent with the value of land they're occupying. That would reduce strip malls, that would increase the number of housing, the increased supply of housing would lower prices because landlords and property owners would have an incentive to build higher density. That would also build greener communities, that would support local business. There's a plethora of things that I would do, and I don't want to get cut off, so I'm going to stop now.